All right, so welcome back to episode 11 of the Lionize.tv podcast. And this week we're delving into a NFL Week 9 recap. Of course, our top 10 teams in the NFL, picks for next week, and some thoughts on the NBA's new in-season tournament. So, let's begin with Jets versus Chargers. Jets lost this one a 27-6 loss on national television. Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football? I think it was Monday night. And
it was Monday night, yeah.
It was just bad. Just bad all across the board.
You know what's interesting? So yesterday I was listening to a radio show. Actually, I wasn't listening to it. I just saw it on Twitter. But Michael Kay, obviously you know Michael Kay,
yeah.
Right? Broadcaster for Yes Network. He interviewed Adam Saleh, who is the Jets head coach. And he basically asked him why Zach Wilson has been starting like this whole time while Rodgers is gone. And he brought up the fact that Trevor Siemian is in the QB room as well. And basically Adam Saleh, verbatim, he just said, "I don't know. I plead the fifth."
Yeah, literally, I saw that. It was so bad. It's just so bad. Like,
yeah, that's rough. That's really rough.
Honestly, here, I did some research before this, looking into some of the stats. The Jets are 30th in points per game, 31st in yards per game, 32nd in red zone touchdown percentage, 31st in touchdowns per game, 32nd in third down conversion, and 30th in yards per play. Like we're literally top 3 worst in every single offensive category. It's so bad.
Yeah, that is bad. I mean, I'm sure the Giants aren't far behind. But I will say this. It is a miracle that the New York Jets are sitting at 4-4. But I have a question. Is it really a possibility that Aaron Rodgers comes back to play this year? Like, I know we keep seeing the videos of him pre-game throwing the ball 50 yards, putting pressure on his Achilles, on his leg. But at this point, like, how many weeks have we been seeing those videos? Are you going to play or not? Like, I don't want to see those videos anymore if you're just going to give, like, fans false hope. I know he also said after the game to Derwin James, I think. Didn't he say, like, I'll be coming back or something like that? Yeah. I don't know what he said, but I don't want to see those videos anymore. Either play or not. Like, I'm tired of those videos.
I mean, I think he went on the Pat McAfee show and like they were talking about it and like he was like, you know how he is, like hinting, like not really saying the full answer. And I think he was like hinting to like a week 16 maybe return. But honestly, this Jets team, like our defense is really good. Our defense is really, really good, top of the league. But our offensive line, like I don't want Aaron Rodgers returning from an Achilles injury with this offensive line. He's gonna get killed again. Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. Like Zach Wilson had 8 sacks. Like, I mean, some of them were on Zach Wilson, like got to throw the ball sooner, but that offensive line is just straight up bad, and it's been bad, under like the Joe Douglas tenure, and like I really like our GM Joe Douglas. I like the team that he built, and I like our coach Robert Saleh, and I think he's a pretty good coach in the NFL. But this offense, like how long does it take you to figure out an offensive line and figure out like a working, functioning offense in the NFL? It's actually like disgusting to watch. It just, honestly, if we had Josh Dobbs, like Josh Dobbs is better. If we had Josh Dobbs, we'd be a lock playoff team. Like, honestly.
I was going to say the Los Angeles Rams, I mean, Matthew Stafford, he's been like out. He missed this past week with a thumb injury, and right away the Rams signed Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, like when you have quarterbacks that are free agents, why would the Jets not sign a quarterback? It's so crazy. And another point that Michael Kay brought up was even last year, Zach Wilson couldn't even beat out Mike White to be quarterback last season. So like I don't know what Adam Saleh saw in him this year, or like the Jets coaching staff saw in him this year. But I don't know. That's bad.
I don't know. Like Zach Wilson did make some improvements, and like some like the offensive struggles aren't completely on him, but he still sucks. Like he's still really bad. Like, come on. Like
I keep saying Adam Saleh. It's Robert Saleh.
But yeah, like Zach Wilson. Like honestly, like how much time do you need in the NFL for us to know? Like at this point, like Like, start fighting for your jobs. Like, your job is on the line if you don't make the playoffs. Like, do you guys not care about winning to just be throwing Zach Wilson back out there to the dogs? Like, at this point, we know the guy can't play in the NFL. How many more starts do we need to see? Like, regardless of like, I mean, look, C.J. Stroud doesn't have a great offensive line, doesn't have a great offensive team, and look what he does. Like, you kind of know with these quarterbacks, and we know Zach Wilson is not good. So why is he still playing? Just doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not. I really like. I'm questioning what's going on. Like what are they talking about? What are the coaches talking about in regards to their quarterback situation?
Like, I
I
understood
mean,
it.
four again though, 4-4, like that's a miracle, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's you got to be. Jets fans should be grateful every single day that they're sitting at 4-4.
Like, I understand playing Zach Wilson like right when Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, give him a couple games to see what he could do. And honestly, he has not been turning over the ball that much. Like, he had a couple fumbles, but those are all from sacks this week. But like, he has not been throwing interceptions, and that's been positive improvement. But overall, like, he's still not good. This offense still only scores like 6 points. They scored 6 points. And come on, like, how many more weeks do we need to keep trying to see if this guy's good or not? Like, why don't we try to just win games? Put the best quarterback out there. We need to make the playoffs this year. The Bills aren't good. The Dolphins can't beat over 500 teams. Like, AFC East is wide open. The AFC playoff race is kind of open. Like, come on, we have a shot at the wild card if we keep playing. Our defense is like Super Bowl caliber. But come on, this offense, man.
Yeah,
Anyway, moving on to other teams with Super Bowl caliber defenses. The Eagles versus the Cowboys, and this one was a great game, 28-3. And honestly, it really shows that this is a game of inches. Cowboys lost this game by Dak Prescott was like barely a foot out of balance on that 2-point conversion, and that touchdown with that tight end, I think it was Ferguson. He was
yeah,
literally inches away from a touchdown, but
yeah.
they
I think it was Schoonmaker.
oh,
I've never
Schoonmaker,
heard of him, but
yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
because
But
yeah, yeah,
they came up a few inches short of winning the game, and it was a really good game. I had a lot of fun watching it. Won some money off it, so that was good. I liked it.
that's always good. Yeah. No, that I mean, arguably the two best teams in the NFC, arguably, of course. Um, I thought like my biggest takeaway was Dak played really well. Dak played really well. I think he fumbled one time. I know he didn't throw any interceptions, but 375 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He made some big time throws too, which I was like pretty impressed about. But yeah, they were right there. And then I mean that failed fourth down on the Eagles 1 yard line when Schoonmaker was literally this close to scoring. He had his knee
Yeah.
down and the ball wasn't in. That's probably what lost them the game, even though that they had another opportunity later in the game to win it. But
Yeah.
yeah, CD Lamb involved. Yeah, Eagles are just better in my opinion. But I think that the Cowboys can beat them too.
I was really impressed by the Cowboys in this game. This is
Yeah.
this is like one of like the points like the season where we see like who the Cowboys really are, and they really wanted to show us that they're for real. And honestly, this is like the best Dak Prescott game I've seen in years. Like, this is one of the
Yeah.
best games
I
he's
agree.
played
I
in
agree.
years. And if
I
he plays
agree.
like this in big moments, this is a Super Bowl team. Honestly, it's a Super Bowl contending team if he plays like this, because that defense is really really good. And I mean, if the ball breaks their way a few ways, they win this game. Like they
Yeah.
So it's not inconceivable to think they could come out the NFC and win. But it's all on Dak Prescott's shoulders. And when he plays like this, the Cowboys look almost unstoppable. I mean, it took the Eagles took a couple inches and the Eagles to beat them, bro. It was a great game.
No,
But
it was a really good game.
But the thing about the Cowboys too, the only thing is like they still can't figure out that running game, even with Tony Pollard.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. I mean, I think a lot of people. I remember when Zeke was still there, and Tony Pollard would get some touches. They were like, "Why are we not giving Tony Pollard the ball? Like he's better than Zeke at this point." I mean, you give Tony Pollard the keys now. I mean, he's not really making that much of an impact, like as what people thought he was going to be doing. I can definitely say this: he is not nowhere near what Zeke was when he was the lead back in
Yeah.
Dallas.
I mean, I know it's like too late now, but they could have maybe in the offseason get a second back in there, draft somebody. But because he only had 12 carries, 50 yards, and I think what made Dak Prescott so good in this game was he actually moved the ball with his legs. Got out of the pocket, like six scrambles, 14 yards. Like it's not a lot of yards, but just
Right, yeah.
being able to make plays with his legs
Fighting for those first downs.
something that he wasn't doing before. And yeah, they
made some big fourth down throws too.
Yeah, and I mean, there was some. Mike McCarthy was making some questionable, like in that fourth quarter. I forget which announcer was it. But they were talking about like when they had the ball on that final drive for the Cowboys. They're talking about like move the ball quicker, try to score earlier, just in case you can't, and then you could stop them and get the ball back. But they were going kind of slow, trying to milk the clock, and it kind of ended up hurting them at the end. But I mean, Mike McCarthy and coaching concerns is still a big thing. But moving on to the Eagles, like they just keep rolling. 8-1 is the best record for a team coming off a Super Bowl loss since I think I heard it on the broadcast. It's like an old Titans team. So very impressive.
That's the best record in the league. Record in the league.
Only
best
loss.
Team in the league.
Only loss to the Jets. Let's get it.
Yeah. They should be 9. They should be 9-0. Realistically, they should be 9-0.
But yeah, with the Eagles, like, I mean, my biggest concern with them right now is just Jalen Hurts' knee injury. Like he
looked pretty. He looked hurt when it happened. He looked hurt.
He looked hurt in the game, but Jalen Hurts is like he's a baller. He don't care, and he'll still like perform. But if that running attack is cut off because of Jalen Hurts, it could really suffer that offense. But they just have so many weapons on that team. It's just insane. So many weapons. I don't even know how they got like DeAndre Swift for free. Like I was just not even fair. They just have so many good players on that offense. It's just like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Gainwell.
Finally, that
Swift.
Yeah, well, Dallas Goedert, unfortunately, just fractured his forearm, I think.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's gonna be out for 6 weeks. Yeah,
but you're right. They still have weapons. I mean, AJ Brown finally, a game below 125 receiving yards. Like that was an insane streak.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith caught a beautiful touchdown, which put them up. I think it was like 21-17. But yeah, they have weapons. Swift, of course, looks really good. I don't know why they still like operate in a running back committee. Like Swift is by far the best running back in that backfield.
Yeah, and
I'm really just talking as a fantasy owner right now because I have him in like all my leagues, and I hate when Gainwell gets touches. I hate when anybody else gets touches. Rashad Penny gets touches. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, he had 18 carries last game, so they were using him a lot. But with the Eagles too, like some of the concerns were with that secondary, and but their defense stepped up big late. Some big sacks to stop the Dallas Cowboys and really close out this game. And regardless, like I think the Eagles still could be playing better football. They're going to be hurt. They might take a step back as they heal up and really make that push into like the later part of the season. But I think they're good. They're a really good team. Even if this is who they are, a team who might make a few mistakes and not be as good as they were last year, they're still a really, really good team. One of the most talented teams in the league and clear top team in the NFC, I think.
Yeah, they're going into their bye week, so like you said, hopefully rest up. And then they got the Chiefs on the other side of it.
That'll be a big game. Big game.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. It's not on Thanksgiving Day. It's on Monday night. Thanksgiving football games are played on Thanksgiving Day, right?
Yeah, it's like they also got a Black Friday game now. Jets versus Dolphins on Black Friday. The day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but Eagles rest up. They'll be okay. 8-1, best record in the league, best team in the league.
Yeah.
They're going to make another deep playoff run. I mean, they'll definitely be I would love to see a divisional Eagles Cowboys matchup. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
And then I would love to see Niners Eagles again as well.
that'd be good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the Bengals versus the Bills. The Bengals came out with this one 24-18, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals are officially back. I had a
Yeah.
parlay that had Jamar Chase touchdown, so it didn't hit. But one of the lines was Bengals minus 5.5 alternate spread. I just knew they were gonna come out with this win. I just knew it because I just feel like the Bills were like the Bills are just not that good of a team, if we're being honest. Like they can't beat better teams. They really beat up on bad teams. But just focusing on the Bengals here, like Joe Burrow, that's the healthiest he's been all year. That's the healthiest I've seen him all year, and it really showed. He's just so good when he's like
Yeah,
when everything
he's looking good.
yeah when everything's working right. He's so good, and even with concerns with like that run game and that offensive line, like it's still Joe Burrow. That he took a team with a mid run game, a bad offensive line to a Super Bowl before, so I'm not concerned. Still have Jamar Chase. He got a little banged up, but he'll be fine. And Bengals, man, they're back. They're rolling. So, I mean, I mean, yeah. What we're gonna say about the Bengals? They're good.
Bengals, yeah, they're on a roll. I mean, Joe Burrow, once when he is fully healthy, you can tell like his timing is on point. He's moving in the pocket. He's making throws where they like at with accuracy. Um, but it's really crazy that they're on a 4 game winning streak and they're still last in the AFC North. I mean, the Steelers and the Browns just keep winning for some reason. But I mean, like I've been saying, like these past couple of weeks, I mean, everybody's been thinking eventually that the Steelers and Browns are going to stop winning, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, they're both all 5-3 now, which is good.
Yeah,
So the Bengals are pretty much caught up, but they have 4 divisional matchups in the next 9 weeks. So almost half of their games are all divisional matchups. Next Thursday night is Browns and Ravens. So that'll be a big, I mean, Bengals and Ravens. So that'll be a big game. And then the Ravens play the Browns this week on Sunday. So if the Bengals beat the Texans, they'll be moving up in the AFC North. So, I mean, yeah, they look really good. They look like the team that we've, always knew that they were like these past couple of weeks.
yeah. I think like Joe Burrow's original injury was a lot like understated. I don't think a lot of people realize how much it affected him. And now that you see him
Yeah.
healthy, like they're moving like a well-oiled machine that we're used to seeing that Bengals offense is, and their defense is still pretty impressive. But
Yeah.
the
It
Bills,
also
man,
helps the run game for them too. I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah,
have Joe Mixon. He was the league leading rusher last season.
yeah.
So I mean, when Joe Burrow is healthy, it affects all aspects of the Bengals offense for them.
hmm Yeah, and like even Jamar Chase, like early in the season, he wasn't playing well, but once Joe Burrow got healthy, then you saw that connection start going. T. Higgins had a big game, so fun to watch when the Bengals are on point. But the Bills are not on point at all. 5-4, like they could honestly miss the playoffs. Like,
Yeah, I'm over the Bills at this point. Like they have one big win against the Dolphins. Their 4 other wins are against teams with below 500 records.
yeah,
They
and
beat they beat the Bucks, they beat the Commanders, they beat the Raiders, and they beat what else did they beat? They beat the Dolphins,
beat the Jets, I think.
and yeah, no, they lost the Jets. They lost the Jets. But one other team. All their wins besides the Dolphins are against teams who
Oh
are
no,
below who have below five.
The Giants. It was the Giants. What am I saying?
Yeah, and they beat the Giants. Yeah, so
Yeah,
four wins against teams with below 500 records. One win against the Dolphins. Like that's not a good football team. And you can tell watching them that they're not. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Like their offense is just not clicking.
yeah.
It's weird to me.
I think it's time for a new coach in Buffalo, if I'm being honest. Like the Sean McDermott, he's a good coach. He brought the Bills to the peak that they are, but they're clearly not taking that next step, and now they're regressing. So, and I mean, it's the same team with the same problems that we've been seeing consistently for years, and that's got to boil down to the coach. No the offensive line has been poor. The run game has been poor. They're too Josh Allen reliant. Like in this game, they had 68 rushing yards. Josh Allen had 44 of them. And like at this point, something needs to change in Buffalo. And the only thing that's going to be is a new coach. So I feel like at the end of the year, Buffalo might be in the hunt for a new coach. Maybe get a new offensive mind around Josh Allen and really
maybe draft a quarterback. I mean, a running back.
Yeah.
For a
like
change.
Draft an offensive lineman or something. Like get some pieces around Josh Allen, get him some offensive line help, some running game help, get a coach who could help Josh Allen, cut up his mistakes and detail up his game and be the best he can be because he's a really good quarterback at his best. And the Bills should be better than 5-4 without a doubt. So
yeah, I agree.
All right, so moving on to some young rookie quarterbacks here. Beginning, do you think the Panthers regret taking Bryce Young over CJ Stroud?
100%. How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? I mean, I think the only thing like probably like helping their subconscious, like when they sleep at night, is that the Panthers beat the Texans a couple weeks ago. But other than that, like CJ Stroud is better than Bryce Young. I mean, a lot of people were saying that pre-draft too, but like it's even more a fact now. Like CJ Stroud he's the runaway rookie of the year.
And look at his stats. 2,270 yards, 14 touchdowns, only one pick, 62% completion percentage for CJ Stroud versus Bryce Young, only 1,375 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks, 64% completion. So like Bryce Young has a lot more picks, less touchdowns, a lot less yards, clearly struggling. And I mean, look at what CJ Stroud did in this last game. Rookie record 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, including the game-winning drive with less than a minute to go. Like after watching that, you have your franchise quarterback. Like you just instantly see it. It doesn't take you like 4 years to know. Like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, like when you know. You know what I mean? And like Bryce Young, you don't see it.
Yeah, CJ Stroud has almost 1,000 more passing yards than Bryce Young has this season.
Yeah,
he's top 10 in passing yards. He has more than Jared Goff, more than Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, Brock Purdy. He has more than Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow. Like the list is going on. Geno Smith. He's on a roll. He's on a roll.
And like look at the pieces he's working with, like Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Devin Singletary. Like it's not like it's like a great skill position group, but CJ makes it work.
Honestly, I think they're that's true. I think their offense has surprised a lot of people. I mean, with CJ Stroud, definitely like Nico Collins has been really good this season. Dalton Schultz has been good this season.
Yeah.
Tank Dell. Tank Dell's been really good this season. Something's going on in Houston.
DeMeco Ryans, man.
Yeah, something is going on in Houston.
Only one pick, too, is actually crazy. Like, only one interception. Right. It's so crazy.
One interception through 9 weeks? That's impressive.
For a rookie?
For a rookie quarterback, that's impressive.
It's impressive for, like, Patrick Mahomes, like, let alone CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And, like...
He can potentially finish top 5 in passing yards this season.
I mean, like, going on every Sunday, like, CJ Stroud got to be one of like the 4 boxes on the TV. Like you got to watch CJ Stroud. Like he's great young quarterback talent. Like this kid's for real. So, but like even Bryce Young, it's just like, I mean, the kid he has in his past 5 games 20 sacks, and he's like 5'9", and he's just struggling so much. It just looks so hard for him. And like with CJ Stroud, it looks so easy. And Carolina is 1-7 and doesn't even have their first round pick next year. That's bad. So, I mean, moving on to the top 10 teams in the NFL. So, you want to kick this one off? Because I feel like this list might have changed a lot. We're halfway through the year, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, so my top 10, Eagles coming in at number 1. I think that's to be expected. Hopefully you have the Eagles at number 1 as well.
Mm.
Number two, number two, I have the Ravens. The Ravens have been playing really good football. They're also on a 4-game winning streak, just like the Bengals. Um, they blew out the Lions, which I think a lot of people were surprised about, and then they blew out the Seahawks again. So they did it twice. Lamar Jackson is clicking. The run game is going crazy too. Gus Edwards is playing really well. Number three, I have the Chiefs. They just won in Germany against the Dolphins. Number four, I have the Bengals. The Bengals also on a 4-game winning streak. We all know what the Bengals are capable of. Number five, I have the 49ers. Even though they're on a 3-game winning streak, they're coming off the bye week. I still have a lot of confidence in the 49ers. I mean, we saw the first half of the season, their offense and their defense, and we haven't even gotten a chance to see Chase Young play yet. So we'll see Chase Young play for the 49ers alongside Nick Bosa coming up next week. This upcoming week. So I have the 49ers at number five. Number six, I have the Jaguars. The Jaguars are playing good football too. Actually, I think the Jaguars and the 49ers play each other this week. So
Yeah, they
that should
do.
be a good game. Yeah, that should be a good game. Number seven, I have the Cowboys. Uh, this was tough for me. I really wanted to put the Cowboys over the Jaguars, but I needed to see them beat the Eagles. I needed to see that. I need to see the Cowboys win these big games. So the Cowboys are coming in at number seven. Number eight, I still have the Seahawks. I think that the Seahawks are uh, they're well coached. Geno Smith is not playing like the best football, but regardless, I have the Seahawks at number eight. Um, Dolphins at number nine. I think that's who would have thought. Like I've been really high on the Dolphins. They took a big job on my list though. Honestly, I could probably put the Dolphins. I'm gonna change my list. I'm putting the Dolphins at eight. I'm putting the Seahawks at nine. And then number 10 was also tough for me. Number 10, I have number 10. I have the Rams. No, not the Rams. Not the Rams. Not the Rams. Not the Rams. I guess I'll put the Browns at number 10. I'll put the Browns at number 10 because they're
Uh,
also playing well and they have an elite defense.
okay. Honestly, our lists are pretty similar, and I feel like the top five is pretty easy to pick out. But I really struggle with like the bottom three because I'm like, honestly, even like I'm like, I don't think any of these teams deserve to be on my top 10 list. Like some of these teams,
Yeah.
like especially when it got down to 9 and 10, I'm like, I don't even want these teams on my list. Like these teams aren't even that good. Like they're not even Super Bowl contenders. Like anyway, but my list differs in the beginning. I got Chiefs at one. I know the wide receiver room isn't the best. I know that they're not the same offensive team that they were last year, but their defense is really impressive. That defense was making some big plays against Miami's offense, and they shut them out in the beginning. And Chiefs offense only scored 14 points in the beginning, and then they had that what's it called, fumble recovery off Tyreek Hill with the lateral. That was a big play that the defense
Yeah, that
made.
was huge.
So I think this might be the best Chiefs defense in Patrick Mahomes' career, despite the worst offense in Patrick Mahomes' career. So despite that, I think their young receivers may, as the season progresses, get more comfortable, and Chiefs at one. Number two, I got the Ravens, like you said, 7-2. They are just rolling through everyone right now. Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. They finally got some weapons around him. That new offensive coordinator looks like it's working well, and that Ravens defense is always going to show up. So, and especially against these NFC teams, like when they face Lamar Jackson, they have not seen him before. It's not like teams who've seen him multiple times. It's
Yeah.
he's so good when you don't know what to expect. So, Ravens at two. Number three, I got the Eagles. I just think, even though the Eagles are 8-1, some teams may be playing better football, and they're a little banged up right now. So Eagles at three. Number four, I got the Bengals. They are back to being the best team that we know that they are, and just Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So moving on, I got 49ers at 5. Like you said, Chase Young. Brock Purdy needs to be playing a little bit better, but I don't see any. They're just so well rounded, so good on both sides of the ball. So 49ers at 5. Moving on, I got the Cowboys at 6. This one, I just think I was just so impressed by their performance this week and Dak Prescott's performance. I just had to give them the respect to move them up to 6. At number 7, I got the Jaguars. So, I mean, this one I just trouble with. I was thinking about putting the Jaguars above the Cowboys, but I just think that Cowboys defense is just really, really dominant. So at 8, I got the Lions. I think they're. I think they had a bye week this past weekend, so staying at 8. And this is where I had some struggles late. Dolphins at 9. I think the Dolphins are good against bad teams, but they really can't beat good teams above 500 teams. So Dolphins at 9, and I just picked the Browns at 10 because their defense is really good, and at least they have one really, really elite unit. So our lists are pretty similar. So I feel like that as the season progresses, we're really starting to see which teams are the real contenders, which teams are the fake contenders, and which teams are really going to be competing for the Super Bowl.
All right.
Okay. So, some picks for next week. Last week, I went 2-3. I don't know why I picked the Dolphins over Kansas City, but that happened. They lost. But Baltimore covered -5.5 over Seattle, and Cincinnati -2. So I'll take 2 out of 3.
I forget how much did the Steelers win by against the Titans?
Let's see.
Titans, Steelers. Oh, ding cash. They lost by 4. Unfortunate. I went 2 for 3. I had Titans plus 2.5, Eagles -3 versus the Cowboys, and then Chargers -3 at the Jets. So I lost mine on Thursday night.
Yeah. But
looking forward to this week though.
Yeah, there's some good matchups. But honestly, I like last week's matchups better. last week seemed a little bit easier than this week. This one I struggled with.
That's true. I agree. I think there's I couldn't find a third one. I think 2 of them I feel pretty confident about, but I don't know, that third one was tough for me.
Yeah. So I guess the first one is a little bit of a surprise for me. I was originally gonna pick San Francisco in this one, San Francisco -3, but I was thinking about it, Jackson at home, Jacksonville +3. They're playing good. Both teams are coming off a bye. San Francisco surprisingly only 3-4 in the Shanahan era off the bye, so it's not like they're great off the bye. Jacksonville has a top 5 rushing defense, which is going to be really important against the 49ers, and that's. But the only thing, Debo did return to practice, but no Trent Williams still. So without Trent Williams, that team is
they need him.
They do need him. So it's a close game. Jacksonville either loses real close or wins close, +3. Next, I got Detroit -2.5 at the Chargers. Chargers don't have a home field advantage. Doesn't exist in LA. They're 4-4. They're feeling mighty high about themselves. Brandon Staley thinks his job is all secure, but they're about to play a real team. And Detroit's coming off a bye, going into LA, and I think they're going to come through with a win. -2.5 is not a lot either. So Lions are a better team than the Chargers.
I like that pick.
And next up, I got Indianapolis -2 over New England in Germany. The New England offense is really, really bad. I don't even know how they're gonna score. I don't even know how they do score. But the Colts offense isn't bad at all. 7th in points, 12th in yards, 7th in touchdowns per game. So I think they'll be able to score more than the Patriots can, and just be able to score just enough to cover the -2 number. So win by a field goal. That's all it takes.
I really miss Anthony Richardson a lot. Like, I wish he was still healthy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only rookie that would have given like CJ Stroud a real run for his money for Rookie of the Year. But my picks, I have Vikings +2.5 at home versus the Saints. We are officially entering. I mean, I don't know moving forward what it's going to look like for the Vikings without Kirk Cousins. Like, I'm not sure what they do this offseason, but Josh Dobbs is there. He came through and beat the Falcons last week. I like Vikings plus 2.5 at home versus the Saints a lot. Seahawks -6 at home versus the Commanders. I think that the Seahawks have, fallen off a little bit, but I think that they get back on track playing at home. Hopefully Kenneth Walker gets going again. Geno Smith limits turnovers. I think that they beat the Commanders by a touchdown. And then my third pick, I have San Fran -3 versus the Jaguars. Like you said, Trent Williams, that is concerning that he hasn't returned to practice. But I really think that the 49ers are a good football team, man. Like they're good. Like
my original take was going into it like 49ers. Then I did a little bit more research on the game, and like I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go with the Jaguars. But I guess we'll see. We'll see how this game shakes out. It should be a good game.
Yeah, I think Chris McCaffrey runs for over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be the difference maker in this game.
I know Brock Purdy, no concussion, might be playing a lot better too. So
yeah, and like you said, Debo is back. They got Ayuk. They got George Kittle, McCaffrey.
So we'll see. It should be a good game.
Yeah.
But moving on to basketball now, finally, and so we're gonna begin with some in-season tournament thoughts, and I guess I don't know. First of all, in-season tournament is a horrible name. It's not exciting. Doesn't make me want to watch it at all.
What do you think it should be called?
Like, it's so boring. In-season tournament. Like it's not like they call like the NBA finals like, oh, like the final matchup between two teams. It's the NBA finals. Make it something cool.
I think in-season tournament is probably like the most marketable because everybody knows what an in-season tournament is.
Like they call it, like like they have like some people on like the media are like the Commissioner's Cup. Like at least that sounds like a little bit. It sounds a little corny, but like better than in-season tournament.
I was literally about to say that. It sounds corny.
Sounds corny, but like in-season tournament is just too many words to say. Like I don't like it. Anyway, I also don't like the tournament at all. Like there's just no.
Wow.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the court. The jerseys are atrocious. The court, some of the courts were actually really hard to watch. Like the Indianapolis, like who thought of that? Anyway,
yeah, that was probably the one court that everybody was like talking about was trash.
Well, like, did you see the Miami one talking about heat culture?
Yeah,
like it's like, bro, that's so corny. Like, come on. Anyway, I just think in order to make this thing for real, they got to add some real stakes to it. And the money is nothing. I don't care about the money. Half the players don't care about the money. Half the players are making way more. The players that actually we want to watch don't care about this extra $1 million that they might get. You know what I mean? So I think.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I think in order to make this tournament for real and to get fans to care and to get players to care and teams to care, you got to add some form of incentive. And I think that incentive should be an automatic playoff spot if you win. So like get an automatic playoff spot. You're locked in. Top 6 seed, no matter what happens for the rest of the season. And I think that will have teams, like maybe I'll actually win this, like because like, especially like these older teams, like with like the Clippers, for example, who are an older team, who are more built to like for a playoff run, who get hurt a lot. Maybe they'll prioritize the in-season tournament, trying to win that, and then take the second half of the season to like load manage a little bit and regroup for the playoff runs because they'll know they'll have a playoff spot. You never know. I feel like just incentivizing teams with a real incentive will get players to care, get teams to care, and then good basketball will be on the showing, and that's how you get fans to watch. So, yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree, and I'll tell you why. So it's for the exact reason what you just said. Players are just going to load manage. The whole reason why the NBA put that load management, rule in place was to keep players from, not playing in regular season games. And let's say the Lakers win the in-season tournament. LeBron James is not playing the rest of the regular season. He's not. He's literally not going to care because he just wants to make it to June anyways.
Yeah.
He just wants to. He just wants to play in the playoffs anyways. The whole point of the regular season is for teams to compete, get a good record, so they either get into the play-in or they make the playoffs. That like I don't. What's the whole point of a regular season if you can clinch a spot 20 games into the season? Like okay. I understand you should probably shorten the regular season a little bit. 82 games might be a little bit too long, but I mean, basketball is a young man's game. Like you have 40-year-olds playing in the NBA still. Like it's sad to say, but it's time to retire. Like LeBron is getting older, Chris Paul is getting older, Kevin Durant's getting older. You hate to see it. Obviously, these were our favorite players growing up. But basketball is a young man's game, and it's not really meant for 45-year-olds to be playing basketball. So the 82 game season is what it is, and it's what it's been for as long as basketball has been a thing. So that's why I don't think that. I think it's interesting. If you win the in-season tournament, you get a playoff spot. It's definitely interesting, and it's intriguing to talk about. But I don't think it's smart personally. I mean, I actually like the in-season tournament. I thought it was pretty cool that maybe it might be a little like. A little like just, blowing up a little bit, like the courts and the jersey and all that stuff. But it seems like the players are enjoying it. It seems like the players don't care. Like it seems like the players don't care. Like they're just playing, they're just playing basketball. And it counts towards the regular 82 regular season games. So to me, it just seems like the players are just playing basketball. And then, like, even like Bones Highland and like a couple other NBA players, they literally came out and said, "Yeah, I have no idea what this is. I'm just playing basketball." So I think that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you keep the same like load management rules in place and like maybe tweak the in-season tournament so like it's spaced out, so like it takes more time throughout the course of the regular season, and like it ends closer to the All-Star break. So then after the All-Star break, playoffs is real soon. So it's not like there's that much time. But yeah, I just think, like you said, like the players don't even know, like how the players don't even know what's going on. And if it wasn't for like the different courts and the different jerseys, the fans would barely even know it's an in-season tournament. I think in order to get this thing for real, to get people to care, you have to have some form of incentive for it. But yeah, I think
or maybe just have it played at a remote site like they did in the bubble. Maybe they just have the players all stay, like one remote site. No team has home court advantage or anything like that. And you have the games played there. The in-season tournament have them play there. And instead of like spacing it out, maybe there's like an actual break in the season and you play the in-season tournament for like however long it might take, for like 2 weeks or something at the remote site. And whoever wins. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I mean, in like soccer leagues across the world, when they do like these in-season tournaments, like they have like their own version of this. They add teams from like lower divisions. So like I mean, it's never gonna count a G League game versus a regular NBA team for a regular season game. Like it's not gonna count towards a regular season game, but like it'd be kind of cool to watch that, But anyway, I just think like the NBA is trying to do so much to get people to care about the regular season, and
I care about the regular season. Like,
I know because
I feel like average fans care about the regular season. I don't know when this narrative like began where like players don't care about the regular season. It's so odd to me. I've always enjoyed the regular season.
I mean, like basketball fans like you and I do, but like the typical like casual, they're not watching like regular season basketball. You know what I mean? Like they might watch.
Are sports ever really made for like the casual fan? I know you want to like make it appealing to the casual fan, but if you are a casual fan, you're not actually gonna sit down on like a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night and watch like a regular season game because you're a casual fan. You don't really enjoy the NBA like real fans do, and that's okay. You're not a fan of basketball like somebody like me and you. And that's just is what it is.
I mean, that's definitely a fact. But like, I mean, this is a whole different conversation, but these companies cater towards the casuals because that's like, that's the majority of like where the money is. Because like,
Yeah, exactly. Everybody,
small percentage of
professionally, they just care
diehards.
about
Yeah.
viewership and ratings and money. Like yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, so like I know like even like some of my roommates like who are not big basketball fans, like they don't care at all about their basketball regular season, and that's like probably the typical view of a typical person. So I just think like I mean, I like what the NBA is doing something different, trying to experiment with the game without really changing it and trying to get, you know, doing something different. But this in-season tournament needs some tweaking. It's not perfected. No matter like we could disagree on the best way to perfect it, but it needs some tweaking. And it's clear that I mean, if the players don't even know what's going on, the fans aren't going to care. So if the fans don't care, then no one's going to care. So
Yeah,
it's got to be tweaked up a little bit. But I mean, I'm just happy basketball's back. So happy to see that.
true.
All right, so thank you guys for tuning in to episode 11 of the TV podcast. Make sure you like, follow, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more clips and videos coming out soon. And next week, we're going to post another podcast, like always. Thank you so much for watching.
Let us know what you guys think of the in-season tournament in the comments below, because I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, for real. Peace.